What is up, boyos? It is Water Buffalo Man here, and we're back for more Ark Survival Ascended. And I wanted to bring a new mod to the spotlight here a little bit. It's a mod I used a little while ago with my buddies when we ran our own specific server, when there was a little bit of an issue in getting element and a couple other specific resources that you kind of couldn't get as easy on the island. Or, I mean, you could get them, but they weren't the most simplistic to come by, and they kind of took a little bit longer to come through. But the mod in question that we are talking about is the Reclamation's Resource Slags mod. I apologize, I want to make sure I read that correct. It's by Amalgamaniac Gaming. So this mod is a list of, I don't know, let me guess, like, as you can see here, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 different Acatinas that he has changed into resource creators. So we have them all spread out here, organized by their map and how you get them specifically. So all of them you get by Veggie Cakes, first and foremost. So I'm not going to read the whole intro up top part of that. I'll leave that there for you guys to read. The only thing I will read is there's a basic overview. Each type of slag can produce specific resources on top of the resources Acatina has already produced. So they automatically would spawn in with the polymer and the paste. Like, guaranteed those two automatically work on those. But this stone one produces flint and stone. But excuse me, while on wander. And since no one wants to chase down slags all the time, the Acatinas, I gave them the ability to go into turret mode, allowing them to be on wander without them wandering away. So they could be in turret mode, which you can see right here, which they are. It would allow them to just spin like this and turret and count as wander, with wander mode being on as well. I just have them tied up here just in case. Maybe one of my mods I had equipped may cause that to not work, so I did this just in case, but I don't think they do move. So there are multiple different types of slugs. There's actual slags, I'm sorry. There's 15 total. There's a stone one, which produces stone and flint. Metal one, which produces metal and scrap metal from the next update, but the scrap metal is officially in. We have obsidian, which produces obsidian. The pearl one produces silica, silicate, and black pearls. The element one produces element shards, and element dust, as well as element ore, I noticed. The slagma, this one right here, is capable of producing spark powder, gasoline, element-infused gasoline, burning wood into charcoal, cooking meats, and smelting metal in its inventory. The OilSlag produces oil, both types. The CrystalSlag produces crystal. Or as you can see, they're all here. I don't have them organized in a specific order, but they're all here. The Scorched Earth exclusive ones, which you can only find on Scorched Earth, I spawned them in here just so we can have a showcase on them, is the sand one, which produces sand alone, and just sand and flint, actually, apparently. The salt one produces salt and preserving salt, raw salt and preserving salt. And the sulfur one produces sulfur and condensed gas, which also for some reason produces obsidian. I'm not sure if that's an intended aspect of it, but it does. Then there's the three aberration ones, the red gem, blue gem, and green gem. They all produce the gem specifically, whereas the blue and red produce the crystallized sap as well. And the green one produces the fragmented green gems. And then there is an extinction exclusive one at this very moment, which is a corrupted slag, which produces corrupted nodules and corrupt hearts, as well as angler gel and black pearls. Since you kind of can't get these too easy on extinction, he put them in as an option so you can get throughout all these slags specifically. So we're going to go from left to right. These guys have been out for roughly like 20 minutes or so, 30 minutes or so. I don't have any increased rates because, again, this is single player, so I don't have them producing anything faster than what they normally would do. The slug noise is getting really annoying really quickly though, so that's why you'd put these guys on like the opposite side of the map. But let's take a look at everything really quickly. We have these stone slags, which have produced a good amount of flint and stone so far. The metal slag, which has actually produced 30-ish pieces of metal, because scrap metal is 1 for 1 and metal is 2 for 1, so yeah, probably about 32 pieces. The obsidian slag has produced a pretty good amount, that's a good amount of obsidian. The element slag has actually produced quite a bit, because 14 pieces of element plus 29 element shards, that's actually a pretty solid amount, to be honest, for just about 30 minutes or so. I put some meat in this guy a little bit ago, and as you can see, he is still cooking away on the meat. It can craft all three of these types of gas, gasoline, and spark powder. And if you put meat in there, it can cook all these types of meat as well as smelt metal. Crystal one has produced... wrong one. The crystal one has produced 48 pieces of crystal, which is not terrible. The oil one has produced actually quite a bit of oil. The natural non-spoiling oil is a lower production rate versus the spoiling oil, but again, just put this in the fridge, the B+ fridge, and it'll last longer. And the pearls are actually pretty decent for the rate that they're at. And if you're playing on a continuous server with a bunch of friends, or even with tribes, whatever you want, these guys will continue to be producing when you guys aren't even online, so you'll just have unlimited amounts of resources anyway. Now onto the specific Scorched Earth ones. We have the SandSlag, which produces flint as well, and a bunch of sand, which is actually pretty good, but I don't think we use too much sand. The only thing that sucks is this does not produce cactus sap to make the clay. Clay, I think, would be pretty cool to have. If this thing produced some sort of sap or something that can make the clay, that's something I'd like to see added in, or one that produces just sap itself, or cactus sap. There is the salt slag, which produces preserving salt and raw salt, which again, both of these are doing really well. The preserving salt is actually at a pretty decent pace, and since you need to grind this salt with sulfur in a mortar and pestle, you're getting something that you can't get normally anyway, so that's actually a pretty good add-on, honestly. And the sulfur slag is just really good to get, because sulfur is used for a couple of different things. I can't really think of it off the top of my head, but if you need sulfur, you can have it there, and also you could really use this as just another way to get more obsidian. We also have the 3 gem variations, again, all producing at the same pace. They all produce relatively decent, 27 to 29 in about 30 minutes. I think it's about 1 piece every 30 minutes for these guys. And then these here are producing at a really high rate of 54 corrupt hearts. That's actually really nice. So if you're using this guy on Extinction, you could just let him farm corrupt hearts for you, and you have no issues of worrying about fighting any of the bosses. But let's just do cheat space fly really quickly, and let's fly over to the base. Let's leave these guys here, and let's go see if we can actually find some of these in the wild, because they do spawn anywhere that the Acatinas do in fact spawn. So we don't have any veggie cakes, do we? We do not. That sucks, so give me 1 second, guys. Alright guys, so I used the GFI cheat to spawn in some veggie cakes for us. We're going to put 10 away. We're actually super heavy for some reason. Let's actually drop off some things that are in our inventory. I don't have any veggie cakes on me, so we're just going to store some stuff away for now just to save some weight. Put the gene scanner away as well. Do I have the backpack? Do I have the backpacks? Hang on 1 second. Let me put these backpacks on if I have one. If I could make one. Should be able to make one. I don't see why I wouldn't. We'll do the travel backpack normally. It should be tier 3. Let's make this. I don't know if this... I do have the festive backpack, huh? I'm a little dumb. I didn't even see that in my inventory. Will this cut the weight of anything? Oh, I gotta do cheat space fall because I can't put a backpack on while on this guy, apparently. So let's actually activate this really fast. It did not cut the weight of the veggie cakes. I was hoping it would have, but it did not. So that kind of sucks. So now let's go find ourselves some slags. As you can see, they're all just chilling here. They're actually pretty much... I just put this up here just to have this. This is where we're going to have our base of it eventually, but we just decided not to. But give me 1 second. Let me find some slags for us really quick. Alright guys, so I don't entirely know what the spawn rate on one of these is specifically. Like, I don't know if they have a higher rate of spawning over normal Acatinas or what the restrictions are on it. Because I've seen at least 3 Acatinas already. One of them being right here. Just chilling in the water. But I've yet to see any of those guys officially in the wild. So I'm not sure if they have just a really low spawn percentage or what it entirely is. But I do know you can find them. Like I said, I've used them before. The ones you won't be able to find are like the Scorched Earth and the Aberration ones. They spawn anywhere that Acatinas do spawn. So if you... Oh, hi Thyla. If you look in the redwoods, or like along this borderline here, coordinates are up in the top left corner. There's a really good chance you'll find some of them near this swamp. Just make sure you're taking out every Acatina that is a non-specific slag, so it gives you an increased chance to find the one you're looking for specifically. You could find them anywhere in the swamp. You could probably find them in the caves. I don't know if they're tameable in the caves, though. That I can't confirm or deny. I don't know that one specifically. But I do know that they can spawn throughout this area, and they actually can be very prevalent. I've found quite a few of them at a time. On my server with my buddies, we had a bunch of slags back at base. We had at least 4 or 5 different crystal ones, 4 or 5 different metal ones, and you never ran out of resources. So if you're playing on a server where you generally just want or don't have access to something like gachas that could produce you the resources as quickly as you can, which realistically, this was the main reason we use these, was because we didn't have gachas at the time, and this is the same reason we're going to use these on any map that doesn't have a gacha. It's for these slags, because of the fact that they can produce so much for you, and they're so valuable as just an overall creature. But yeah, I'm not seeing any in the wild right now. Oh, wait, what's this? Yeah, see normal Acatinas. So we're finding them everywhere, but we're not finding any of the specific ones that we need, any of these slags. But we do know they do in fact spawn. Like, that is a confirmation. I can confirm that one myself. I have seen quite a few of them spawn. What I'm going to do is I'm probably going to wrap the video up here, guys, since I pretty much covered everything on it. I'm just going to float around for a little bit longer. And if I do happen to see one of the slags, I will bring you guys back for that part. But if not, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys back here for more Ark Survival Ascended. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys then.